Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Anu and I make videos from the province of Alberta in Canada. Today we're going to be learning how to make this delicious brown skin banana puff puff. Sounds like a mouthful, but it is a mouthful indeed. They are very delicious. If you're an OG on this channel, you know that my first video on here was a puff puff recipe, but today there's a twist to it. There's a change that we're introducing sweet bananas into this puff puff mix, and trust me, they taste absolutely gorgeous. So if you want to see how I made this delicious little things, then come along with me to my kitchen.
You and me, we meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
So for this banana puff puff recipe, we will need 3 cups of all-purpose flour. We also need 2 ripe bananas, and then we need 1.5 cup of milk, and then we also need half a cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of yeast, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and half a teaspoon of salt. So the first thing that I did was to sift the flour just to ensure that there are no lumps and our mixture turns out as smooth as possible. So if you're new on this channel and you haven't subscribed, why haven't you subscribed? Please subscribe and click the notification bell beside the subscribe button so that you can get notified when I upload my next videos. So right now I'm just combining the dry ingredients. I just added the cinnamon and the salt, and then I'm going in now with the brown sugar, and I'm mixing that together. I'm also adding the yeast, and then we'll also mix that together. I'm not proofing my yeast because this is instant yeast, so it doesn't need to be put in warm water first. So I'm just combining my dry ingredients, and then the next thing I'm going to do is to mash up my bananas. If you like, you can blend them up in your food processor or in your blender, but I just like mine to be a little chunky, so I just cut them up, and then I use my fork to mash them up into a puree. Again, if you're new on this channel, I like to share scriptures from the Bible and tell you what I think of them. So for today's video, I'm sharing with you from the book of Malachi chapter 3 verse 6a. So the first part of that verse, it says, "For I am the Lord, I change not." This is one of the characteristics of God. He said it by himself that he is the Lord and he doesn't change. People change. We change our recipes, just like this one. The world as we know it is also changed, but God does not change. He remains the same today, tomorrow, and forever. He is the Lord. He changes not. So now that my bananas are mashed up, I'm adding a little bit of the milk, and make sure your milk is warm so that it can activate the yeast to begin to work on the mixture. So I added a little bit of my milk, and then I'm mixing that in, and then I'm gonna go in with the mashed bananas and mix that into it as well, and then I will add the remainder of the milk. I didn't add all of the milk in the beginning, just because I wanted to see the texture and make sure that it isn't too runny before I add all of the milk. But I ended up putting all the 1.5 cup of warm milk into the mixture, and it was just perfect. You know, this banana puff puff recipe reminds me of a banana milkshake, and I think that would be the perfect drink to go with this kind of snack, a banana milkshake. So like you see, I'm just mixing it with my spatula. If you want to be like me, you can absolutely mix this and it will be as smooth as what you're seeing right now just with your spatula, or you can use your hand. Typically people use their hands to mix puff puff, but I just didn't feel like getting my hands dirty this day, so I just used my spatula and it worked perfectly. So the next thing I did was to cover it with some cling wrap, and after that I covered it with a napkin, and then I put it in a warm place to rise. Typically you leave it to rise for about an hour, but because it was cold the day I made it, I just left it for 2 hours, and you know, this was what it looked like after 2 hours. You know, it was perfect. The yeast had done its work and it is ready to be fried. The next thing I did was to heat up some canola oil in a frying pan, and if you know me on this channel, when I fry things, I like to put onions just to give it that aroma, and then to also help me know when the oil is hot enough for me to put my stuff in. So you know, I just started to make puffs with my hands, and then I put it into the oil. You want to make sure that your oil is not too hot so that your puff doesn't burn before it gets done on the inside. So you want to keep it at moderate heat. So you know, I just made puffs. Take your time, whatever works for you. You know, I had removed the onions and some of the puff from here already, like you can see, and now I'm just removing them. The puff is ready. Like, these things are so delicious, and I feel like they're a lot more healthier than the regular puff because the sugar is reduced, and then you're using natural ingredients like bananas. And I'm just opening it up here to show you how fluffy it is inside. It is just like a regular puff. It just has bananas in it, and of course brown sugar. So if you like this video and you've watched up until here, make sure to like, and if you haven't subscribed, like I said earlier, please subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you can know the next time that I upload a video. And thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.